Trying to recreate a plug that we see people get every now and again, where the second row of disc blades fills up, and usually the fix for that, just lifting up the front, making sure you've got enough depth to give the second row discs some traction. So now I pulled in the top link, sucked it in a bit. Lowered the 3-point, so the front blades should be going pretty deep, and kind of expecting that plug to happen, the second row filling up. Exactly what happened there, and the fix is literally you just extend the top link out so that you can lift, or you can raise the 3-point if you've got room on the sliding hole. But that's kind of the idea there. If you see the second row filling up, for the most part, it can just be like a depth thing, a conditions thing, but for the most part, usually if you're going a halfway reasonable depth, like if you're going insanely shallow and your soil's light, then maybe your second row wouldn't get too much friction anyways if the depths are fairly close between the first and second row. But for the most part, normal situations, the solution is you pull the front up a little bit so that the second row blades can get some traction and churn through. Because usually with trash like that, it can just grab it, even if it wants to flip up onto the top of the blades, then it has the power to kind of chop straight through it. So that's kind of the idea there. So now we're extending the top link again. Easy way to do that with the sliding hole. Just gotta give it some room in there so it's loose. And then you extend it. It's easier with 2 hands. So you can see it sliding forward in that sliding hole. That's kind of giving us room for in the tractor. When we raise up the 3-point inch, we can do with the button here. It lifts the front row, and because there's room on the sliding pole, it tilts the front row or the front of the machine up, so you're not like raising the disc off the ground. But and that's kind of the idea. And the more you extend the top link, the more you can kind of tilt the front row up compared to the second row. So this is basically just giving your front row a more shallow depth compared to the second row, and that'll leave some extra traction so that you can avoid a plug like this. So we're gonna you can get a closer look at the plug. So that's kind of what happens. It just kind of squeezes through a pile of dirt, straw, or whatever, plant stuff. And so we'll try this depth. Tractor, we'll lock it, we'll fix the pile I just made, and keep going. So there's our pile there. I'm just gonna back up slightly to kind of get the disc rows clear at the back. See the trash roll out. We're gonna lift up. Now we've got a nice pile of stuff right there that hopefully we can clear out. Set the 3-point hitch so that it can lift the disc kind of with some room in that sliding hole that we gave ourselves with the top link there just now. We'll see if it wants to plug. So looking at that, I think we're a little too high on the 2-point. The front's not doing enough. You can see it's not really cutting too much. So we're just going to lower the 3-point a bit. You can see it in the sliding hole there. There you can see it kind of. What I like to do is kind of find the spot where it likes to float in that hole. Kind of roughly there. It's okay if it bumps forward and backwards. That's normal. So we'll go back. You can kind of see that the front was too high, but when it's too high, it doesn't do that plug. So that's kind of the, one way to, we overcorrected there, but it fixed the plug. And now we just kind of find the balance where the front row is doing enough work. There's no plugs to it. So you can see how the top link's kind of wiggling there. About to go into unworked stuff again. Now going through a bit of a driveway. Now back into unworked stuff. It doesn't plug just because we lifted the front of it, so that's kind of the fix there. So here again, we plugged on the pass before, we made our adjustment, now we should plug. Some fairly tall barley, kind of not fully mature yet. You wouldn't qualify this, but we were planning to do some kind of vegetable planting. Use this as kind of a winter sort of barrier, a windbreak to protect some garlic that we planted a little bit here. We didn't need the space, so we're working it out. I think usually you kind of expect to want to mulch it down ahead of time, but we were just trying to see if it would work nicely with the disc with us. Kind of expect to go a bit slower than you would working stubble. But there's a lot of plant matter going under there, so you can kind of get the packer moving a bit too much if you're really flying through it. Here's a bit of an experiment too. We don't really need to work this in. It's a kind of a halfway slough/field access kind of. It's a lot of cattails, grass stuff. Kind of you halfway expect to plug in stuff like this. So let's see what it does. Deals with the trash fairly well. Tough to kind of see with all the greenery how deep it's actually working here. But check the second pass. See what that does to it too. So just going over the same thing we just did. Kind of all the tall stuff is gone. So for me, that's already pretty darn good. I think everything in there is kind of loosened up. Just check one more, see what it does. Yeah, that's what it looks like now. We'll try the kind of the deeper stuff there. Hopefully there's no sitting water there. I don't think there's, or sitting water, anything too wet. Stuff that'll make us actually get stuck. Okay, here we go. Just down. This is what we're going through. Pass again. So that's where it's at now. Again, that'll already be good enough for me, I think. But we'll do another pass, see how clean it gets. Just down again. There you go.